Welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on a kaleidoscope program, and we've got it basically working for pictures you select from your photo album. We can select a picture and generate an image from that. But we haven't dealt with another variation I'd like to do is to have you take your camera and then kind of move your camera around and generate an image based on the selection from your camera's image. Now, I'm just back from a couple weeks off. I restarted things, had to relog in, had to reconnect. I've got a new version of Xcode that's coming in. Probably should have let that go. But I thought we'd take a minute, look where we are, and I guess I can't run, so we'll just look with our eyes. But just kind of where we left off, let's get to do up here. Okay, so we really did plan to start the live camera next. That's cool. We want to take a picture of the current image. Okay, that's a different thing. Oh yeah. So another one was rotation when it scans across the image, but when it hits the edge, it kind of jumps back to the beginning. And if your image is, unless it's got a natural repeat, it's gonna cause a little bit of a jump. Okay, and then 3D shapes. So there is I think it's SceneKit 3D or something, but there's a 3D package, and so I'm envisioning little gems and little sticks of various colors and transparency and so on in a sort of I'd like them to be like they were in oil or something where they would kind of fall slowly. Now I know that SceneKit 3D graphic stuff comes with like gravity simulation and stuff like that, and you can simulate the Earth or the Moon, so we can get different levels of gravity and all that. And I think that will be more like a real kaleidoscope. In real kaleidoscope terms, I don't know what we call this, repeated images. Okay, in a real kaleidoscope, when you look at a picture, or you're looking through, normally they've got, well, most of the ones you find for cheap anyway have three mirrors at 60 degrees, and you see the image repeated, but it also keeps repeating because it's mirrors all the way up, so you get all the reflections. Ours just sort of shows the bottom level of repeats. I had this in mind before because I remember looking up stuff to try and say, how do I project something in a fisheye view onto the inside of a sphere sort of thing? So I wanted to have that look of, the real picture in the middle and then sort of stretching off to infinity as you look around. I may have saved a link somewhere, but not enough to go by. I'll have to find it, I guess. Repeated images, not just a single circle's worth. I guess I can say it that way. Also, our images did arcs of a circle, so they were kind of round on the edge and made a whole circle when it was done. The real way would probably be more like triangles, so a little bit of change on that. Okay, and then let's see. I probably could do a little organization here too. Got content view. Pi is pretty low level. I don't know if it'll run stuff. Yeah, it's still downloading. Ugh. Okay. But this is, we're just going to do a little code walkthrough since it's been a few weeks. All right. So pi that's the piece that gets us a piece of pie, a triangle-like segment of a piece of pie. Okay. Or, a filled-in arc from the center. So basically, it's just you get a rectangle to hold it in. In our case, it's probably a square, and then no, it's a rectangle. We figure out which side's smaller. Half of that is the radius. So whether it's portrait or landscape doesn't matter to us. It'll find the smaller one, and then we find the center. 2 pi over the count tells us how many degrees we're going to put in this arc. Okay. And then we make a path that moves to the center, adds a line, runs the arc, and then closed subpath moves back to the center. And that gives us that. And if this ran, you would see here we've got 6 pieces of pie. All right. I think the next one in is mirrored view. Okay. So filtered view, basically it's showing content. And so when we take our pie segment, we always take it from the vertical center line going out. Okay. And then we place that pie, and then we place its reflection scaled by -1 on the x-axis. And so we get a piece of pie across the central line going vertical. All right. Let's see. One sec. Okay. And then let's see. I believe collide view is next. Okay. So collide view basically knows the count, and then it has stuff. This view builder stuff is the content it's going to draw. So we figure out how big the angle should be, and then we just repeat each segment going around the pie. So this rotation effect, it loops through all this, the number of pieces, and then puts a piece of pie mirrored around, according to the degrees of how far the index is. Okay, so we start with a tiny piece, we reflect it, and then we repeat that around. Okay, and the reflection, the 2 times tells you, or reflects that, I guess. Okay, here's a little helper. This is our philosophy, I guess I would say, of when we want to choose where to show on the image. We can, well, we could just show anywhere on it, but we don't really do that. What we do is we imagine a sine wave bouncing up and down, and so we convert an x value into a position on the sine wave, which, if it repeated, an infinite number of times, it could touch anywhere in the in the image. But I think we only have like 3 or 4 repeats, and we get a good selection of the image. So your view as you go is whatever that sine wave shows on the image. And so we want to convert to x and y offsets given a particular size of things. Okay, so from an angle, where should we actually show the x coordinate? Well, x, we're just working our way across with wraparound. That's this. We're making sure it gets in the range 0 to 2 pi. And then y involves the sine wave. So we have a number of repeats, and then we're using that to position it, and then some calculations to make sure it stays within the view of the screen, which admittedly took a fair bit of doing. All right. We've also added an experiment view, and wow, this thing is slow. 17% after all this time. Okay. We added an experiment view, and that's just a tab for us to play around with because so much is visual. I'm not doing TDD on a lot of it, on the visual parts, and that's leaving us prone to errors. So we're doing some manual testing there. Mike Hill calls this a making app. You have the app you're going to deliver, and then you have an app with some extended stuff you can use as a programmer. In our case, we've got this extra tab to play around with so we don't destroy our real program while we're playing. Okay. Once we had, one view going, here's rotated view. I think I should get that one in. If what we wanted was the effect that if you have, say, a phone or a tablet and you're looking at an image, we would like it to be that as you rotate the phone or rotate the tablet, that the position, it changes the view as you go, just like a real kaleidoscope. Normally you hold one piece and you kind of rotate the other. Some of them you just rotate the whole thing. That rotation, comes from it's a system value coming in. So we set up the motion manager that tells us what rotation we're at. So we say, update it 20 times a second, send them updates to the update handler, and it takes the data and changes that into our current angle on our view. So yaw gives us that because the rotation, the CM motion manager, it can detect it's roll, pitch, and yaw. So yaw is the sort of twisting the phone around I'm not sure. Roll is forward and back across the axis, and pitch is tipping forward and back away from you or not. I'm not quite sure on those because we just did yaw, but yaw, it definitely gives us the physical rotation, as if we're looking at it on a plane. Okay. We're ignoring the others. We wouldn't have to. We could imagine, I hadn't thought of this one before, but we could imagine taking a 3D picture of something and then using all three of those. So instead of just a sine wave up and down across a 2x2, two-dimensional image, we could do some sort of path through a 3D image and get the view from each of those. Future enhancement I probably won't do. All right. So then finally towards the end here, let's see, is this photo kaleidoscope? Okay. Yeah, we did photo selector. And so we said, before I just had a hard-coded image there, some demo image. Now we go to a photo picker and we can select a photo. And once you select it, we change the image that the view is based on. Okay. And then photo kaleidoscope, I think that's our top level, I believe. So if we have a source image, we show the rotated view of the kaleidoscope view with however many mirrors we're assuming and some adjustments. And then otherwise we show the image selector. No image selected. So if you have an image, we show it. If not, no image selected. And show the photo selector to let you change your mind about what image you want. Okay. All right. And like I said, we're doing mostly visual testing, and I'm not using UI tests. Those are the default ones. All we've really tested, and reasonably thoroughly, is this mapping from basically it's from the angle of the yaw, the physical rotation, to the X and Y coordinates. So we're looking for critical values, pi, 0 pi, half pi, and so on. We make sure negative, all these things we check that to make sure that they're going to get us to the right position for X or Y. We treat those two independently, so there's no we don't really have tests for them together, but we are checking a lot. Now, I don't know that we've chosen the best way to do things, but I think we're testing the XY conversion pretty decently. Could there be gaps? Yes. I've proven that over and over in the last couple of years as I do these public broadcasts. But I think we have a pretty good sense that we've got it, more or less what we intend it to be. Whether that intent is the best intent is definitely an open question. Okay. Wow. This thing is still running. Let me see if I can run the app. I got a feeling it'll say, oh no. Wow. I think that's what that's doing. Ugh. Okay, well, the next thing I wanted to do today was let you take the camera. Well, I haven't done the research really, or if I did, I've forgotten to keep whatever I had. So let's start looking into show the live camera on iOS. Actually, I should probably say Swift UI. Yeah, no, unfortunately, they, let's see. What is this? They use that word live in multiple ways. Display your most current data on the phone or lock screen. No, that's not what we want. It's not live view. Okay, oh, that's more promising. Okay, we're going to build a Swift-based UI app showing live camera feed with rotation support. Okay, that definitely fits what we're after. Uses UI kit. Okay, we're going to have to learn how to do that in Swift UI. It may not be doable. Not everything is. Okay, unfortunately, I don't see a date on this article. Yeah, that, I don't know. I understand why people don't put the dates, because it probably gets you more views while people search through it and go like, do I really have to do this? All right, but let's keep this link. Let's see. Let's put that in our to-do. Okay, so that gives us one possibility. So yes, they say Swift UI, and the first thing they do is create a hosted view controller, which says you can access UIKit stuff in here and use that. All right, so I don't know if he's got enough pictures to say what's going on. It looks like a lot of work. I mean, not unbearable, but still. Okay, we have to have camera permission. Privacy camera. App uses camera to detect objects. Well, that's not quite what we're doing, but a capture session. Okay, AV capture device. Well, let's look up AV capture device. All right, so you have to basically request the device, configure it with a lock it. Okay, wow. Yeah, it's understandable that you have to do some of this, but it adds up to a lot of stuff. All right, now I know the rotation. Oh, interesting. Okay, so that basically what it sounds like they're going to do is, if you what do you call that? It's like the shake. They used to have all these rigs for cameras to keep the camera level, even, or keep the picture level even if the camera rotates. And some of them would physically kind of try and keep the camera physically stable, even while you're moving around. Okay, so this used to be like really hard, and it's why if you see they would have shoulder cam back in the 70s, right? It would be some giant camera thing that sits on your shoulder, and they try and Blair Witch Project kind of thing, right? Or something where you're capturing the motion as people are moving. It wasn't 70s, but get the idea. You got this moving camera, and if you just didn't do any adjustment, half your audience would throw up because it's shaking so much. So they worked on these stabilizers. Now you can do it in more in software. And I think that's what this is doing, is so you can have a picture, but if you rotate your phone, the picture stays the same, even though the camera is physically moving. They're going to detect the rotation and account for it, which is interesting for us. We want kind of the opposite, though, but that's okay. We don't have to turn that on. All right. Well, I mean, this definitely makes me feel like we've bitten off a pretty good piece of work here. All right, go back. Build an iOS app. Yeah, live preview code. Okay. Whoa, we're getting pretty far away. Whoops, I meant to say camera. Okay, I've definitely been here before. How to use real-time camera streaming. Oh, it looks like you can do some of this. AV capture video preview. Okay, so they're not going to the hosting controller. So this does seem more like a useful way for us. 18% only. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so that seems like, sounds like what we want. Let's make sure. A capture session to photo. View. Okay, I think it's, well, this is definitely something we can put on our experiment page. Okay. Unfortunately, it only wants to work with the real camera. All right, I'll just paste it in for a moment. That's redundant. Okay, preview view. Preview holder. Okay, demo video streaming. Looks like we don't have to do much there. Okay, let's try that. Now, I don't mind chopping that out. We've got it in source control if we need it, but I think my run is going to fail. Oh dear. Okay, what have I got going on here? Let's go back here. I think we're using enough iOS 17 stuff that we don't have a choice there. Okay. Wow. 30. All right, let me pause a second. I'm going to see if I can do something to speed this up. Well, I've managed to kill it off. Could not. Okay, let's try again. Okay, that feels faster. I don't know if it is. I somehow got on our slower Wi-Fi, so maybe this will help a little. I will say they mentioned some things we have to do, right? We have to turn on camera capabilities, add NS camera configuration, info.plist. I don't think do we have to do that anymore? I think we don't. Let's move this down here. Well, it does seem to be moving a lot faster anyway. Capabilities, okay. Matches, okay. No. Resource tags. I don't know what those are. No. Do I put these on here? Info.plist, there we go. Well, I don't know where that comes from now. Let's take the filter off. Oh, here we go. Info.plist. Okay. Camera. Well, that's not so helpful. Okay, well, let's see. ASAP use camera. Let's see if it has us change plist anywhere. No, that wasn't too helpful. Maybe this one? Properties. Okay, that's promising. And that's... Okay, add a usage into your plist file. Once we've done... Okay, well, that's the piece I want to look at. Add a camera usage description. Okay, iOS camera info.plist. Well, I didn't see how to edit that. Okay, targets, I guess. Okay, let's see what we can do. This is the target. That's... maybe still be stuck on this. No. Yeah, usually I've just had to edit them. I don't know why I'm not getting an option there. Go back to what that said. Include the in-house camera usage description in the app's plist. There's no drop down like that. Okay, in signing and capabilities, we need camera entitlement. Click the plus button above. Well, it's not that one. How weird. Oh, this one. Okay. Signing. Hardware. Okay, we're on the target. We would think we'd see all these. What was the category? Hardened runtime. Okay, let's go through them. I don't think it's driver kit. I wonder what this is. None of these seem that relevant. Well, let's do this. iOS 10. Seems a little outdated, but maybe. We've got a lot of .NET stuff now. Let's see. Did I paste that other one in? I did. Okay. Let's go back to this one. No. Camera can only be tested on a real device. That's worth knowing. All right. Well, tell you what, I think we'll take our break early today. So we'll just do a 5 minutes or so. Maybe this thing will have a chance to finish, and then we can try the experiment and see the complaints and figure out this PLOS stuff. All right, so see you in about 5 minutes. All right, welcome back. Well, that's a good sign down there. Download complete. So let's see if we can run our unit tests first. And then I see MudShark666 found another tutorial on kodeco.com. Let's see what they got. All right, we'll let that run. Oh, that may. you do that to me? Did I search instead of... Well, there it is anyway. Yeah, can't do a simulator. Okay. Well, we were kind of looking here before, weren't we? Oops, what's going on over here? I bet it will connect on demand. Oh. Oh, here we go. Okay. Well, let's do a simulator. That seems like a new restriction. I don't know where that stuff is these days. That's still coming. All right, general. I guess I require full screen. What the heck? I think they would mention this. Usage string and plist. Privacy camera description. Add capability. Let's search for this. No. The info.plist. Oh, this. That might be more like it. I don't know. We went through this before. None of those just sound like what we want. Include a usage string and plist. Is this one? No. Something I don't know about, though. And that sounds kind of... No. Okay. Tried that already, didn't I? Okay. All right. Well, for whatever reason, that took so long, but we did run. Deployment. Info.plist values. Now, you think I could add one of these? I feel like I just am missing some basic understanding here. I don't think that's going to help. Yeah. Can open info as source code. No, you can't anymore, I don't think. Well, I suppose I could add that somewhere. Well, that makes me wonder if info.plist is still... Okay. I don't know what these are. Interesting. Well, those are something different, but it does create it now, so that's something. Oh, slow day here. I mean, we know we want this somewhere. Well, that's a row. Info plist. Well, I shouldn't need that. No. Yeah, you probably need with it's asking for permission. Yeah, I'm sure that's the case. Good question. Okay, cannot be done. It's 2018. It's a little too old. My mouse seems to be jamming up. I just charged it. Okay. Okay. Well, I don't know. Let's go more basic. How to set values in info.plist. XML document. Yeah, no. Okay. Info.plist has a plus. It's very old questions. I don't know if the answers. Okay, if I do plus. Okay, there we go. Camera. Opt-in. Well, that doesn't sound like what I'm after. Add row. Raw keys and values. This looks more like it. And there's camera. No. Okay, well. Privacy. Well, that's not as helpful. Okay. We saw that string mentioned somewhere else. Where was it? Was it this one? In this camera usage description. Okay, I don't know. This thing is still inching along, if that. Okay. Turn on camera and capabilities. Maybe that experimental code will tell us. Or give us a clue. Well, that's that. Well, if we can ever get this thing running, I don't know. I'm going to stop it and try again. It's just so darn slow. Interesting. Meaning what? Wow. Okay, let's try a different device then. It's 15 plus. And now I know we have to start over on the cloning. SS 0927X. Hello. Welcome. So we are very slowly trying to get my system back in shape. We're working on an app that makes kaleidoscope pictures, and I accepted an update clearly too soon before the show. We got through the update, and I'm trying to get a version of this thing running. We did run the tests, and they're passing. There's not a lot of them. But I don't know. What we're trying to do is I'd like to have you turn on your camera on your phone or iPad or whatever and get a picture of the room, but turn it into a kaleidoscope image. So as you move around the room, the kaleidoscope image will update. And part of that is figuring out how to get the camera connected and so on. So while this thing is building at a horrible pace, I've been doing some research on it. And I think the most promising thing we found was this example was in a Stack Overflow answer, but they're using AV Capture Session, AV Capture device. So that basically gives you access to the camera. We know there's some permissions you got to turn on, but let's see. But anyway, we hope that'll work. Let's see. Built-in wide-angle camera, is that the face camera? I don't know. And the new iPhones have so many cameras on them, you just can't even tell, right? I think it's built-in wide-angle camera on the front of the device is what I'm hoping to get access to. I don't know, video. I do want video. I think this is attempting to to grab it off there. I don't know how it knows which camera to get to, really. All right, there's capture session. Layer class, I don't know what this is. Did move to super view. That sounds like old stuff. Like not Swift UI stuff. Okay, well, here's this thing trying again. Okay, well, that was infinitely faster. All right, I don't know what I did or what it did. Let's see if this gets us where we were 2-3 weeks ago, whatever we last did. Okay, seems a little promising. All right, select a photo. Well, I've just got the default ones on this because it's a newly spun up one. Okay, so I think we'll try this picture. I don't think we've used it before. Okay, so we took out, yeah, we took out the thing that lets us. I did have a thing on here to let me do this with my finger to do it. I don't know if will this work. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're taking that image that we selected, and if you notice what the look is, if you take this sort of vertical line to the center and then out to the first kind of dip, that's what we're doing. All right, and so that piece from here to here to the center gets reflected across the center, so over to here, and then repeated. And I think I don't know if that's 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 repeats going around. So they're 36 degrees each, 360 degrees total. And as we change, now that image does have white in it or sky in it, so I think that's all we're seeing there. But you get pieces of it, and we can select a different image. This one has, well, this has lots of pretty flowers. All right, and then so we get nice kaleidoscopic views. I will say, I'm very happy with that stuff. Okay, excuse me. Yeah, there's back camera. So, like if you're doing video calls, there's a camera, on your phone. I don't have a phone here, but there's a little dot over here. That's the camera. That if I'm talking to somebody on the phone like this, that's the back camera, and then the one you see on this side is the front camera. Now this one looks to me like it's got two cameras, if not a third. I think one's focused and one's wide angle, and I don't know if that one I'm looking at may not be a camera. I don't know. But at any rate, I don't know how it decides. But we're going to try the experiment tab, and this may just blow up. Okay, would like to access the camera to make live kaleidoscope images. So that's the phrase we put in. So no camera detected. Okay, so I guess that counts as progress. at the place we're desperate enough for it. Okay, so we're not getting no access to camera, and we get the message. So I think that indicates we did something right with our plist. Okay. Capture session. Okay, preview view. Let's trace back to make sure how this thing assembles. Preview view. UI view representable. Oh, we're still going to the old UI kit stuff. So I guess we can't escape that. There's no direct Swift UI version of this. Okay, but our experiment view says go to demo view streaming, demo video streaming, which basically shows a preview holder. This UI view representable is a class that Apple uses to let you go from UIKit to Swift UI. Okay. And then you can still use the Swift UI stuff. Here's preview view. Whoops. Jump. Okay. Yeah. So it's using Swift UI. It's using UIKit stuff for AV capture and all that stuff. But we can manipulate it in Swift. Is fine. Okay. Now, alternate. AV device. Okay, so I mean, this is what we're trying to do. I want to get the built-in wide-angle camera for video with an unspecified position. I don't know what a position is, but let's look up AV capture device. And see if we can find that default. Now, I'm almost sure that the problem is we're not setting up something, but here's default. Return the default device for the specified type, media, and position. Well, let's go in there. Let's see what device type options we have. Okay, built-in wide angle, built-in ultra wide angle, built-in telephoto, built-in dual. I mean, hopefully that just gets me something. Okay. I mean, there's clearly a lot of options. Okay. All right, that one makes modest sense. Media type. Okay, this one should give us video. Whoops. Video as an option. Audio, closed caption, haptic, and down here video. Okay, we do want video. Now I don't know what position is. Front, back. Oh, okay. And unspecified. Okay. I mean, I guess I could put front. I don't know. Alternate AV capture device default for video. Well, let's try that. Oops. Okay, so I guess that's just no. Oh, I still need this part. Okay. That may. I don't think it's going to be any different. Oh, there's no simulated camera. You're right. Oh, okay. I am slow, but I'll get there. Okay. I get two picked up. Dev2 has an example. He says, without a UI view. Okay. Oh, that'd be interesting. All right. Let me get my iPad turned on here. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Huh. I'd write something for Android is painful. Yeah, I don't know. The more you get close to the hardware, it gets kind of more painful for sure. Let's see. So, but I do wish, I don't know why they don't do that on the simulator. It would be really nice. Even if it just had a little 3-second video clip that, repeated. Let's see. So change this. iPad 2. I guess that's what this is. It's kind of iPad only at this point. All right, we'll run. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're not giving it every permission it needs. I mean, I think what we put in got you the access to got the pop-up box so it could say what we said the reason was. But, I mean, we saw stuff that said there were other permissions we needed. All right, so what are we doing? I guess we're just waiting. While it builds and installs. Okay, it's doing something on my iPad. It's progressed to a blank screen. Let's continue. Okay, all right. I'm up to this point. All right, so let's do experiment. We'd like to access the camera for kaleidoscope images. Hey, whoa. All right. I've got a nice picture on the wall of some flowers. Okay. This is great. I don't know if you can see my screen, but I've got all kinds of crazy stuff going on over here. Performance check should be called from the background thread. Calling it on the main thread. Can read unresponsiveness. Well, I would say this. I don't know if you can. Let's see if I can try and get both things in view. I guess it just barely see that I've got some picture on my iPad. I guess I'll take a picture of what we have. No, I'll take a picture of my dulcimer. Can you see? Or the cabinet there. Oh, it only looks at the back of the room. Okay. There's a bookshelf or something, there's a chair. But cool. Oh, wow. Okay. Boy, now to make this real. All right. Well, so the legit concern. Oops. All right, you're just in the way. AV capture second session start running. AV capture session can add input and configure. When does it actually say run? Oh, there it is. Okay. It should be called from the background thread. Okay. Ugh. No, I gotta. How's that work on this thing again? Okay. So what's it doing? So I don't know. Let's walk this code and see what we think it does and go from there. Okay. But yeah, finally a twinge of hope this is gonna work. Whew. All right, capture session. All right, so we initialize this thing with an empty frame. We say it's not allowed access. We go into a dispatch group, and which I don't know if I've used directly, but anyway, that gets us this request. We want to use your video. This is clearly not acceptable if it doesn't. Then we set up the session, begin configuration, commit configuration, and then the session. Now, when I don't know, did move to super view. I got to admit, I don't know how that one ties into this. Well, what's layer? Appears to be local. Okay. but it wants that in a background view. All right, let's see what we got to do to put that in the background. Actually, I think we saw it. Oops, sorry. Is that it? Yeah. Okay, that's that one. Where was that kodeco one? Well, configuring the capture session, that's probably. Okay, you make the configuration. Create an AV capture device input. Okay. Somewhere they've got a. Oh, they're doing it a little differently. Okay. Right. I think we can do this. Session queue. I don't know. I'm not sure what session queue is. Okay. Okay. Queues dispatch queue. Well, yeah, I hate to read stuff like that. I'm like, hey, get online and watch me read. But boy, you sure have to. Frame manager. Okay. Well, I think this start running, right? That's what we're looking at here. That is what we want to be in a separate queue. So let's figure out where they got session queue. And I think that may be in the previous part of this. Okay. Let's go to part 1. Is dispatch queue? Oh, we're just making one. Okay. Well, I don't know if he's got some imports I'm not seeing. Session queue, dispatch queue with label. Okay. You gotta build like that. Yes. I guess it is. Okay. let's just put this part in. Async with this. Okay, we'll run that again. That started up much more quickly. Oops. Experiment. All right. And we're not getting, I mean, I'm getting pictures of my room, but we're not getting complaints. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to leave that tab. I don't know if it's nil, not if nil is super view. Okay. Does it stop running? Okay, so let's break here and here. Okay, so I selected the first tab. I'm going to go back to experiment, and then I'm going to go back to this. So just from a lifetime perspective, the camera session that's already running is apparently still running, and changing tabs is not enough to change it. Okay. Interesting. Now, I guess if I were to quit the app, okay. So I just stopped it running. I'm a little puzzled that it's, there we go. Oh, okay. So now it does come through here. Okay. So it is running while I'm running the app, and then stops when I do that. I don't know if we can detect. See, I'm not sure how this is doing. So if this thing has a super view, then start the session, and if it loses its super view, cancel. But it would be kind of nice. Yeah, it would be nice if it stopped that running when, just released it whenever it changed views. Although, I don't know. I mean, you're running this app, it's a camera kind of thing. It's kind of, okay, another way to do it. Let's check another lifetime kind of thing. My next one is, what if I switch apps while it's running? Okay, it's so quick now. It was so slow that first time. Okay, so it's got pictures of my room. All right, I'm gonna hit the home button and shift it so it's in the background. Okay, it did not trigger. Let me, I must have a camera somewhere. Still doesn't trigger, but it's got my view on the camera that I can take a picture with. Okay, I thought it would need to lock it. Let me kill that one. Go back to this one. Okay, so apparently that's running for the lifetime of this thing, and not really a problem. Stop running is called when the super view is removed. Yeah, I think that's the case. So it detects the super view going away. I guess that's kind of, well, I would have thought that tabs would go away between them, but apparently not. And that may be an aspect of the way it's wrapped. The UI kit stuff is wrapped. They may just not treat it the same. Must be possible to start and stop a session. Yeah, but if you don't, I mean, it looked like I had access to the camera when I brought up the camera app while this was running. So I think that's That's okay. I'm gonna let it go, but let me add it to do as an open kind of issue. Okay. Well, I guess let's catch up this a little bit. So today, okay, 2023, 10, 21, 23. I'm way behind. Okay, camera. So oops, we we did a bunch of research. Research this one and this one. All right, and then we use Stack Overflow answer. Oh, we also did the kodeco. I don't know why I call it kodeco. And then one thing we did was added camera permission to info.plist. Okay, right. And I think that catches us up. Okay, well, let's see. And then the thing to add was, do we need a button to start camera session? Okay. So I think we're to the point. Well, we got those camera images coming in. I mean, they're in the view, but I don't think we have a mechanism to see it, so we can do our kaleidoscope dance on it. All right, let's close these. Oops, the one I wanted, as well as the others. Let's go back to experiment. Okay, so well, all this stuff. Ugh. All right, so what are we getting here? So this, we're getting access to the camera at this point. Okay, so dispatch group blocker, enter blocker, wait. All right. You can make it start when some kaleidoscope is views open. Yeah, that's what I would like to happen. If well, it should be on this second tab is camera. I would like that to I would like the camera to only use the resources when it's got access to that view. We probably can hook it up. I mean, we can probably detect the view changes and then shut it down in between or something. But okay, yeah, all right. So I don't know how to get this easily because this is not. Well, it's not view like this kicks up a UI thing, and if you go into this, it's gonna actively give you this question when you try and run it. And then once it knows it's safe, it creates the camera, which is more of a, well, it's an IO thing, really, right? So that notion of a session. So I think, I guess I'm trying to work out in my head whether to, like, should I build this up piece by piece on the main view and then work it in? I don't know, because like what I want the camera to be, right, is I want it to, well, I want it to capture the live camera, but I want to capture it as an image. Yeah, exactly. Repeatedly capture an image from the buffer. So I don't know if that buffer is in a form where I can access the image. I mean, it's just start running. It's putting it somewhere on its own. Like, I don't know how it knows where to put it, really. I guess that's probably what this is doing, is saying, like, hey, use that as the layer or something. Okay, so this part is verify that we have access to the camera and leave a message if we don't. We can't just put a print, this is handy for debugging, but it's not really so great for a user, so I guess that's going to have to be, oh dear. I guess that's going to have to be, we're going to rework that to put some information somewhere. Now, this thing can add video input to session. That's the session. Okay, let's go look at that. I don't know if it'll tell us, give us a clue. The value of this property is an array of capture inputs currently added to the receiver. And what I'd like is something that tells me when the video is updated. I don't know that I need to do this 60 times a second. But I do want to periodically see. Now, is there a view on here? Oh, let's see. What's this one do? Nope. I thought there was. Maybe it's on here. I thought I had a view that gave me just the methods. I don't know, that I haven't found useful enough. Yeah. Oh, I haven't turned on my. Oh, I don't know where that thing is. Oh, add something that shows the keystrokes I'm doing. Multitasking camera. Showing iPads. Okay. There's just so much here. Okay, stop running. Stop. See. I don't need multicam. Okay. Yeah, I don't need stabilization. That's the nice thing about mutilating or mutating that picture so much that it doesn't really mind if it's a little bit mutated. It's just interesting configurations. Okay. Well, let's see. I mean, I guess it would be nice to say this chunk resulted in, I guess that's the allowed access is the result. But we want to turn it into some sort of camera status or something, session status. It's called, ooh, okay. I guess I will copy and paste that. Yeah, the name tells you. Okay, monitor status of a video connection. I mean, the thing is, I don't really need to maintain anything for long. I mean, it's just going to be shown as a snapshot and then thrown away. Capture output. Delegate that new video frame was written. It's like Java. AV capture video data output sample buffer delegate, of course. All right. Set sample buffer delegate. Okay. Set the queue for receiving callbacks. Well, that delegate must get the interesting stuff, right? Oh, this is the delegate. For an AV capture video output, see also set sample buffer delegate. Sample buffer delegate. I don't know why that's opening. Oh, I guess I keep using command on it. Receives the sample buffers they are captured. You set it there? Okay. Oh my, that's not much to go on. AV capture sample buffer delegate. Is that what this is? No. Let's look here. Maybe we want this one, AV capture output. Connections. Whoa, attach that to an AV capture video data output. Yeah. Okay, do we have device? I mean, the session must give us something. Capture session. Okay, capture session has a bunch of connections. AV capture photo output. Okay, add outputs for media to enable photos. Photo output equals that. Okay, so that's in the configuration. I guess we'll stay in this spike mode for a while here. Okay, so configuration, we got device input, add input. We don't do an add output. Okay. Add input. We do that. Now add outputs. All right, before the commit configuration. Good. Okay. All right, so I think that goes here. Okay, so we capture the output. We make sure we can add stuff to it. Okay. Whoops. AV capture session. I think this is just session. Okay, so if we can't, well, I'm going to print some stuff too. Can't add output to camera session. That's for us. Return. Okay, session preset, photo session output. Photo output. Okay. Well, what can we do with a photo output? Single photo raw capture with or without. Okay. Right, this file is huge, so I'm going to go back to the documentation. AV capture photo output. Start running to let data flow. Okay, that seems like, yeah, snap a picture. Okay. All right, next. Now, interestingly, okay, so let's see if we can figure out what this thing's actually showing. I wonder if I'm setting myself up to to mess up. I've got the stack with the preview holder, which is this wrapper class. Make UI view by showing preview view, and then preview view does all this. That's the actual photo output is what's being shown. I don't know where it sets that. I think that must be this telling it to show it as the view. But what I want to do is I want to capture it and put it on an off-screen buffer somewhere like I do my photos and pull stuff out. All right. Well, what I expect to happen is if I've configured it, I've added this output to configure it, like somewhere I want to get periodic snapshots, run my transform, and go. So add output, photo output. So it is that thing. Okay. To create photos, create an A/B capture output. We do. Create and configure photo settings to choose settings for a specific capture. I don't. Pass an image, capture an image by setting your photo objects to capture photo with delegate method along with a delegate. Okay. Are we back to what you suggested? You pass an object with capture photo. If you request a still photo capture, you must implement photo output. Request live photo capture. Photo output did finish process. For each capture request. Well, let's see if I can get one going. Oh, golly. Put this on a new tab. Okay, so photo capture output. Create and configure AV capture photo settings. AV capture, we don't have photo settings. Okay. Let's at least make a method for this. Okay. A function, set up photo capture, and it's going to return one of those things. Okay. AV capture photo setting. Okay. Now that thing. Okay. Let's put this tab up here. It is illegal to reuse this. Okay, so we have to do this, I don't know, every time we capture a photo? Format, string any. Well, JPEG is easy. I mean, but I don't care. I mean, I just want to get it onto a view that I can chop out and kaleidoscope it. All right. So let's see what strings are. To capture uncompressed. All right. Let's take. Capture photo output. Oh, here we go. Format type. I don't know. KCV pixel buffer pixel format type key. And then they call capture, which is what we want. And they do JPEG, so it seems like they could have just set it up to be JPEG in the first place. Capture photo settings. Raw pixel format type. OS type. Four-char code. Huh. I don't think that's all I want to worry. I guess that lets me take any type. Okay. Capture photo uncompressed, such as 420F, 420V. I don't know these. BGRA. I don't think there's any point in compressing it. I mean, all we're going to do is open it up. Let's get this. Okay. We'll let result equal AV capture photo settings format. To a value. Set the key. Format type key. Well, I don't know if that's this. Well, it doesn't tell me what to put after it. Wow, this looks like Objective-C. Okay, let's find that example again. Okay, so he put... I thought he had that somewhere. Here we go. No. Pixel byte string. Preview pixel type. Oh, it's the first one. Okay. Take the first available one. What is settings? Oh, I'm going to create it first. Okay, this is what they're doing. Create a capture settings. Find the first pixel type. I guess that's the first raw type. This. I don't know that I need that width key. But let's leave it in just as an experiment. Okay, and then we're going to return settings. A self.camera capture photo with settings. Delegate self, and then that calls this. Okay. Have to add the IV capture photo output to the session before taking the picture. Oh, yeah. Okay. Video output should have a set sample buffer delegate. It's called with the buffer whenever the capture is ready. So video output. Okay, so I guess you're saying this set sample buffer delegate. Well, I don't know. Do I need to do these settings first? It would seem like I would have to tell it something. Right? Like, how would it know what format to put? Right, video output should have set sample buffer delegate. Okay, let's see if that's there. Okay, so I think that's photo output. Okay. Boom buffer. Define on AV capture audio data output. I don't think I need to do that. I mean, I'm telling it I want a photo, so I have to capture photo output. Okay. Create the AV capture photo out. Configure the photo settings. Capture an image by passing your photo sections to the capture photo with delegate method. Along with a delegate option implementing this. So I think let's put this on ourself. This thing. And I'm hoping it tells us, here's the method you need. It's called output. It doesn't mind. Okay. All right. So I've got this that sets the photo settings. Okay. And then create an image by passing your photo to capture photo. That just seems wrong. Maybe capture photo output. Maybe I'm just wrong with capture photo output. It's got to be capture video data output. Okay, let's try that. My output is going to be this. No. Capture video data output. Okay. It seems okay with that. Okay. And then okay, I'm with you. All right, let's move this one down. Set sample buffer delegate should have a delegate class. I guess we can put this on our camera queue. I may be setting myself up. All right, but sample buffer delegate, I want it to be self. I don't know if it wants that. Okay. Not to conform to this. Okay. Delete that one. Okay, now it should complain that I don't have that output method. Okay, this appears to be not needed. I don't know why it doesn't. Well, let's see what this thing is. Method capture output is called whenever. Maybe it just only looks at what you have. Oh, it's optional. Okay, capture output. I don't know. CM sample buffer. Yeah, that's discarded frames. Did drop, okay. But did output. Okay, so I wanted to find this. All right, and we're gonna print captured some output. Yeah, I'm not sure. Buffer, whatever. Sample buffers. I don't know what sample buffer can do. Oops. Image buffer, CV image buffer. Yeah. Did I keep that photo thing? Yeah.
Okay, I think, well, I've got a red bar, so I'm not very well done. All right, I don't need that. I think, well, I've tried to hook this up. Okay, so I create an output, capture video output. I tell it, use yourself as the delegate. And I'm not sure if putting in the camera cue is a good move, but using yourself as a delegate should get to this capture output function and print something. All right. Bang. That was fast. Okay. Build field. Expected. All right. Well, somewhere in there. Oh. Okay. So get this up. I don't know how much you can really see. It's blank right now. It says it's running. Okay. Experiment. All right. It's got the view, but man, there's all kinds of stuff going on. All right, let's stop it and look at what we got here. I saw a lot of things that said invalid, so that's not a good sign. CM sample buffer, invalid, no. Data ready, yes. Well, that's kind of cool. I mean, I got a lot of information here. Exposure time. Well, that's tenth, hundredths, eight thousandths of a second with F number 1.8. Well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff there. Oh, there's a TIFF. Thank goodness it didn't put it out there for me. There's a bunch of stuff. And some more stuff. Well, that's coming from one thing. Well, there's another TIFF. Okay. So that seems like I can. What am I looking at here? My output was output. That was this capture video output. Then the sample buffer, which is this, and then the connection. AV capture connection. Okay, back camera. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Seems like it's the front camera, but okay. Captured some output, and then we go to the next one. Okay. All right. So that sample buffer has some stuff on it for sure. All right. Let's see what we can find out. Sample buffer dot hash image buffer. Image buffer. Image dot. Not a lot you can do with it. His type is image, CM image buffer. CV image buffer. Okay. A reference to a core video buffer. Well, I'm. I mean, this to me, sample buffer. I don't know where it's getting these fields, but it's got this TIFF thing. Maybe there's some sample buffer has the right thing. Sample buffer dot, not hash value. Well, it would seem like image buffer is the promising one. Okay. Turn CV buffer into image IS. CV pixel buffer, that's kind of close. AV capture video preview layer. Let me capture that name. Is that what we're doing? Oh, if you have no plans to modify it. Well, I do. Okay. CI image. UI image wraps. Switch to 5. Okay, that's good. Convenience knit pixel buffer. CV pixel buffer. What do we have here? CV image buffer. I don't know. CV image buffer seems different. Okay. CI image, CV pixel. Image equals CI image, CI image, CI image. CV pixel buffer. I don't think this is a CV pixel buffer. Oh. Type CV image buffer must be unwrapped to a value of no. Oh, what can you do with a CV image? And this seems CI image. Let's check that one out. CV image. Yeah, I would think it would be close. The CV image buffer. Okay, that's the right question. CI image of CV pixel buffer, temp pixel buffer, CM sample. Yeah, this is a lot of work. CV. Create CV image from CV pixel buffer, but we have CV image buffer. I'll say convert. I mean, they might tell me, right? Core video image buffer provides a type. Pixel buffers in core derived from core image buffer. CG size, like nothing is image. Okay, converting between strings. Oh boy. I really want to say who touches CV image buffer, right? Like anybody taking it or returning it would be helpful. Constants. I feel like someone's going to answer this well. Okay, capture output is AV capture output. I don't know what his temp pixel buffer comes from. Comes from sample buffer. CM sample buffer, that's not what we have. CI image. Okay, so I guess I could ask CV. That sounds like it would be useful. Pixel buffer type. I don't know why I'm resisting all the work, but it looks like a lot of work. Okay. Let image equals C. Yeah. CI image. That's only if we got the right pixel buffer to start with. Yeah, well. I'm sorry, I missed some comments here. Okay. Can use the image buffer, public type values. CV pixel buffer. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, so CV pixel buffer is CV image buffer. So why is that complaining? Value of optional type CM image buffer must be unwrapped to a value. CV image buffer. Oh, okay. I don't know. Will it do it for me? Well, I don't think I need to return any values since the function doesn't return a value. Okay. So I spent 10 minutes looking for a nil test. Okay. Well, now we have a UI image. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's put that on here. I don't know if I can make it public. I don't need it being public. Okay. Latest image of UI image, question mark. Latest image equals that. Latest image. Okay. And then what can I ask this? Nothing I care to. All right, let's run again. And that's just debugging. Whoops. Try that again with logged in. Starting the app. Slowly. Or else something's... Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, it's showing... Okay, it's showing images. I mean, it's showing it's got UI images. All right. 1920 by 1080. Rendering mode automatic. Okay. If I do a different thing, it's still taking those pictures. All right. Well, that's promising. So I think because this is a UI view and not a view, we're going to have to figure out how to get this back over to something that can show it. But I think either, well, I think a UI image we can probably use in the rest of our stuff. So if I get this UI image back up to this level, I think we could be showing the image in this screen and get from there. All right, well, we've made some progress. Okay, so let's see, we started with a code review. We looked up a lot of stuff on how to get the camera going. We got it running so that it can bring up a camera image using something mostly based on something somebody did in Stack Overflow and a little information from kodeco emphasizing that info.plist, although the Stack Overflow mentioned it too. And then trying some configuration, getting an output, and finally we've captured enough of this output to create a UI image. So that's a start. I think if we can get that image placed somewhere, I'm not sure how to go between the camera view we had. We don't really want to show anybody that, so that's kind of, I don't know where that should be. But this image is what we want to use our kaleidoscope on. So I have a feeling we'll get to some of that tomorrow. All right. Well, thanks for joining after a couple weeks off here, and hope I catch you again tomorrow or some other time. Next time it's 2 to 4:30 Eastern or 6 to 8:30 p.m. UTC, and we'll pick up from there. Thanks for joining. Take care.